go.
Sull'Acqua set sail for Holland, Michigan from Kenosha, Wisconsin on a very rough conditions day. Now she is an absolute Navetta 52, so fully capable of handling these rough conditions. We thought it was important to get her over there early enough before the season started so that there was time for the staff there to do their magic. Sull'Acqua arrived in Holland, Michigan at Jefferson Beach Yacht Sales Facility, where their very smart and talented folks did an amazing job installing all these great new add-ons for 2022. Here are our top 5 favorite ones.
All right, so let's go ahead and into the engine room. We're coming in from the crew cabin. And over here on the starboard side of the boat, tucked behind the engine, is our stacked Dometic Sea Exchange system, which, as I said, is really 2 units here. One unit is the reverse osmosis system that gives us the ability to make fresh water out of the seawater. And this is going to be used for us primarily when we get to the Bahamas and we're doing a lot of anchoring. We like the flexibility and the option to have access to water when we need it. We've heard that it can get expensive to buy water there and sometimes hard to find. So we bought it really as kind of a backup and the flexibility for us. It produces about 50 gallons an hour, so it's completely adequate for our needs. The other system that's stacked here is the water purification system. And this one works with both further purifying the fresh water that's made out of the sea, or it can also connect to the dock. So all dockside water, which is fresh water coming in, gets further purified. And all of this, and it produces about 83 gallons an hour. And what it will do then is give us the ability to fill our freshwater tank on the boat, which is 158 gallons, with completely pure water. It is as pure as bottled water or better. And we now have the ability to drink from our own faucets, which is super nice. Gives us a lot of space savings of storing a lot of water bottles. You can see here it goes through a significant amount of filtration. There's one big huge filter there, another one here, and this one is kind of nice because you can visually see the yellowing that's on there is some of the purification that's already been happening with dockside water. So another filter way over there on the wall, you can see it kind of blue at the top there. And then we have some up here on the ceiling, and then one more back over here. Some of what I really love about this water purification system is not only are we not buying and storing and using plastic water bottles, we're also able to use the water to wash down the boat. And so literally it has cut in half the time it takes me to wash the boat. With a ceramic coating like I have on this boat, one of the challenges is drying it before the sun bakes in those hard water spots that you get with typical water. This water is so pure, there are no water spots. So literally when I'm done washing with soap, I spray it down and I walk away. I'm all done with that part of the boat and I move on, and it is fabulous. Loving that feature. Another thing we added was taking the mast with the radar on it and putting it on an electronic hinge. This way, when we go through many of the bridges that we're going to have to encounter going to Florida, that this thing could actually tilt down automatically for us instead of me having to unbolt a bunch of stuff. We added some really soft decking to the Flybridge here. It's nice and spongy, and really makes it a lot more comfortable, and particularly when you're up here barefoot. I also think it helps absorb a lot of the sound that we were hearing down in the salon below, because it's cushioning from that instead of just being that fiberglass bottom that we were walking on. It's a little more sound absorbing.
We added an AIS system to our boat to give the ability for Sull'Acqua to broadcast all detailed information about the size of our vessel, if it's moving, how fast is it moving, and in what direction. And here's an example of another boat that's using AIS, and I can tap on this particular one and read more information about it. And as you can see here, it's telling me information about the boat is underway using its engines. It's got a 3.9 foot draft and is going 2.4 knots, so he's moving pretty slow. His range is 1.3 nautical miles away, so that's helpful for me to know that he's fairly close. And it'll even calculate the nearest approach. So if he was moving in my direction, or the two of us were heading toward each other's, it would calculate a countdown to a collision point. Now that's a safety feature that we felt was really important as we get onto the intercoastal waterways, and there's a lot of commercial vessels that will be traveling through that, and the ability for us to broadcast to them information about us and our ability to read information about them, we think it will help us in situations where we're coming up on tight corners, and just general safety feature. We went ahead and ordered the Starlink RV version. Our friend Tom and Carol Hammerschlag have one of these, and we were buddy boating with them for a little bit, and we discovered that, man, that internet is pretty darn fast and pretty convenient to have wherever you are. So we went ahead and ordered one ourselves, and here it is sitting out on our bow. It comes with a stand, and it's working fine right now just to mount it out there, or set it out there on the bow. I'm going to come up with a more permanent solution at some point that will allow it to affix to a pole. But for now, this works. And you can see there's a cable that comes up here. I have it running through the window. That cable, by the way, is both an Ethernet cable and a power source cable for the Starlink, all in one, which is really nice design from the folks at Starlink. And it comes back here and it connects to the router for Starlink, and that plugs into an outlet. So that's all of it right there. And talk about simple setup. You just plug it in, you download the app, you go through just a couple of easy steps of looking for good satellite connection sources, and bam, you're online. Really, literally that fast. Like, it took me probably 8 minutes to do. We have a PepWave system for internet on the boat already, which is a router system for internet, and I have a cellular chip in that, and we've used that as our internet source. But the problem with that is when you're using a cellular chip that has a data plan, we are finding that our phones and things that had pictures on them were backing up to the cloud and consuming all of our data plan, like typically in just a day or two. Photos are such big files. Now with this, we have the PepWave set up to connect to the Starlink as a primary source for internet when it's out. And when we're moving, then it goes to the backup plan, which is the cellular Verizon chip.